Hi, I'm Stacy.
I'm Kelsey.
And we are Pilates Before Pickup. All right, so first off, shout out Blue Canoe.
We love you. Stacy has me hooked on the coconut macaroon. I can't stop, won't stop.
Exceptional.
We have a very special guest today. We have Cara on the podcast. Woo!
Hello.
We're so excited to have you. We knew we wanted to have you because not only are you like a movement staple, but you're kind of like a Marblehead staple. So
Yes.
we really want to pick your brain.
Yes.
We have a lot of questions. Should we get right into it?
Let's get right into it. I think the first place to start is just telling us about your background, you growing up here in Marblehead, how that's kind of affected your career path, and just some of your hobbies and things like that. Love to hear it.
And maybe give the people that don't know who you are yet, like a little bit more about yourself.
Yeah.
Sorry. We jumped right into it.
Yeah.
I'm like, everyone knows Cara.
Yeah,
If you don't know
everyone.
Cara, then you must live under a rock.
Yeah, Queen of Marblehead.
I don't know about that. Thank you. Yes, so I grew up in Marblehead. I am one of 4 siblings. We're all about 18 months apart from the next one. So I have a younger sister. I am like the bottom middle. I have an older sister who's also like one of my best friends. And then I have an older brother. Everyone like forgets about him, but he exists. So there is a boy.
This is crazy. I
He's
have
the
the
oldest.
same story, but it's the other way around.
Oh, see?
So I'm number 3, and I have 2 older sisters, and I have a younger brother who's 18
So many
months younger
children.
than me.
Yeah.
And no one knows he exists. Like, people would be like, wait, you have a brother? All the time.
Yeah. So literally people are like, I'm like, yeah, he like went to the high school. He like, and they're like, and then they'll see a picture of him and they're like, oh, he looks identical to you.
him.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, he does. But yeah, so we grew up in Marblehead. We're always like active in town sports, playing sports. We did go out of school, out of town. My mom is like very, I would say like a little wooey. Like, so we went to like a Waldorf school, which is like nature play, and did that until 8th grade. And then we came back and went to high school. But in between, we went to like sports academies. So I went to like, for high school, I would like leave high school and go to a tennis academy and then come back, or go to a ski academy and come back.
So
my
impressive.
parents are very like into us doing like
Wow.
a million sports. I think there's some like term for it, but like I think my mom is like, what are those tiger moms like that, like, just like would put you in all the things
Yeah.
and like see what stuck. But so sports have always been a huge thing, part of our lives. My husband always laughs because I didn't change my maiden name, because I'm like, well, it's like Bednar, and like everyone knows who that is in town,
Yeah.
so I have to keep it. But my sister's an orthodontist in town. I work there 2 days a week for her. She works for my dad. There's 10 grandchildren in town. We all live in
Wow.
Marblehead, so
Everyone's
it's like-
did.
except for my little sister. She left. She lives in Watertown with her fiance. I think we're a lot, so
Yeah.
that was like
You
a
never
lot.
know. She might
Yeah,
come
She
back.
might come back. She might come back. She might. We'll see.
So you dipped into, movement and sports and everything being a part of your life. And I guess, how did you kind of decide that, I want to bring this into my adult life as well?
Yeah. So I always laugh. I'm like, I wish I had known in college that like that's what I wanted to do, because I went to St. Michael's College. I majored in English and communications. I was like, I want to be a journalist. Like, this is so interesting. Like a meteorologist. And then I like didn't realize all the work that goes behind those things and was like, never mind. That's not for me. But I played sports all growing up. I went to college and played tennis there. And tennis is like one of those sports that it's like a great lifelong sport, but it's hard to
Yes.
find people to play with that are at your level or that want to play. So out of college, I kind of was missing that like chunk of what to do. And my brother was running Boston Marathon that year. And I was like, all right. Like,
What year is this?
So I graduated college in 2007.
Okay.
So it was 2008 that spring.
Okay.
And I'd always been like a runner, just like for sports and other things. So I was like, I can run a marathon. Like, why not? And someone had given us a number from the police department. And so we ran it. And I was like, oh my God, this is like the best thing ever. And I wasn't
The two of
dating
you
anyone
ran
at
it
the time. Yeah, we ran it
together?
together,
Oh my
which was
God,
so
that's
fun.
So sweet.
And he had done a few. He had done like Chicago and Philadelphia. And I was like,
Wow.
I can do this.
Yeah. You're single, so you're like, let's take this time
And literally, like,
train
that's
and-
like, now I feel like I'm like the queen of 20-minute workouts. But then I was like, oh my God, like a
Yeah.
4-hour run along the Charles.
Sure.
Like,
Sounds
sure thing. And then
lovely.
let's like get a latte. Like, it
Yeah.
was great.
Wow,
So,
life was simpler.
life
Right?
was so simple. And then I just kind of got hooked. So I ran, in the next like 4 years, I ran like 20 marathons. And
That's
I went to,
amazing.
like,
Wait, I need
all
to
over
know.
the place.
So tell me, everyone who like runs marathons, they all talk about the runner's high. Like,
Yeah.
what is that, and why have I not
We'll
found it?
We will never understand this, so we have to know.
When will I find it?
Yeah, so I think it's like literally once you hit like this stage of depletion that
Yeah,
you're just
yeah.
like, but I think it's like for me, running is, and I'm like so strange, but I don't like listening to music or anything. And people are always like, how do you like hear your own breath? And I think it's like from teaching.
You don't listen to anything?
Cara's like listening to the nature, the birds. She's like hearing the grass.
I know. I feel like as a mom though, you have so much like shit going on in your head that I'm like, I can't listen to anyone else's like problems or anything. Usually on long runs, I would like, if it was on the treadmill, like I'd watch like a TV show. So at the time, what was I watching? Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah.
And so I would just like watch all the episodes and it was like so unread to my life. You know, they're like biker gang, like killing people.
Yeah, you
and
can
I'm
just
running
zone
at the
out.
Y on the treadmill. You're like, my long ponytail. So, so I kind of just like gone into running that way.
That is that is wild. I need another moment to digest that. That's like when people talk about like raw dogging on like an airplane and like not like watching anything.
People like literally see me at the Y and they'll like stop before they talk, being like, "Do you have headphones in?" I'm like, "No, I don't have anything in." Like,
they're like, "I have extra AirPods if you need some."
Yeah, that's wild.
But now too, thinking about it this way, it's like not only do you have kids 24/7 be like, it's also like we teach. We all teach at the same place, so we all know that it's like very musically driven. It's very loud. It's like when I hear the music, like Lee loves to play house music, but to me, I'm like, and 5 and 6 and 7, and I'm like triggered.
I noticed like when Brady counts, like he'll be like 1, 2, and he's like 2 years old, and I'm like, why are you
Brady's
counting
like
that?
5, 6, 7, 8.
This poor kid from utero like learned how to count weirdly. Like he's gonna get to school, not know how to count.
Oh my god! So I could see how like a moment without music might.
Yeah,
again, it won't work for us, but I could see.
Now it's just kind of like a habit that I don't use it.
That's interesting. Wow,
that's amazing.
Yeah,
that's like a really interesting.
Yes,
fact. I'm blown away by that.
Yeah, that's
Stacey can't. She's like, I have a follow-up question on this.
Did you run the marathon without
like one ear pod in when I would like do it because I'd want to like hear the crowds and stuff like that.
But the music is playing a little bit.
But the music would be playing. Yeah.
Now, were you running for like time eventually?
Yeah. So then I started running and I was like, oh, I'm like kind of good at this. So I'll like start doing, which I just thought like marathon running, I just thought you like went out and kind of like trained up to the miles. I didn't realize there was like different parts to it. So you usually would like divide it into 3 runs. One's like a long run, which most people do over the weekend. And that would get you up to like anywhere from 18 to 22 miles. And you just do that once, like 6 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks out before the actual race. But then like one time a week, you'd be doing speed work. So thinking like if you were on a track, you'd be like doing, you know, sprints and you're building up to like running a quarter mile at your fastest speed and then like slowing down. And then another day you would be doing like hill workouts. So you'd be used to like doing, so there was like a lot more training I didn't realize that kind of went into it. And that kind of like got me on the traction of basically like coaching running. So there was a studio in Boston called My Stride, and they were like a running specific studio.
Ooh, awesome. Okay.
Yeah. So this girl, Becca, runs it. Shout out to Becca. It's a great
Shout
studio.
out Becca.
They actually just opened one in Beverly too. So,
cool.
But now she has like 4 studios. She's a female bosspreneur. And yeah, she just, it's basically was like spinning, but on treadmills. So
cool.
So did you start teaching?
So I started teaching there.
So that was your first teaching.
So that was like my first teaching endeavor. So I did like a running, it was at the time, it was like a track certification because that's kind of all they had. And then I did a group fitness exercise certification as well. And then I was taking a bunch of classes in Boston at Exhale. So I was like getting very in. That's when I feel like bar and Pilates were like hyped up and like everyone was kind of doing it. And I like fell in love with it there. Their method was like very simple, very straightforward, but I feel like you always like felt that shake, that burn.
Yeah.
And like with running, I was like, I don't really want to strength train. And at the time, like I was in my 20s, I like didn't have to. Like I was like, I don't know. Like I feel like you did some push-ups and you're like, that's
You're
fine.
good. Yeah.
And so I feel like that segued into more of like the strength training with your body weight, moving consistently with that, which then I like started to see more benefits in my running. And I was like, oh, there's something to this. Maybe I should add more of this in.
So basically you're saying that you kind of pivoted to different like modalities just based on like what you had an appetite for.
Totally. And I think that's like followed me through life because I feel like, I don't know, you ladies probably felt like this, but like before you had a kid, you were like modifying your classes and you're like, yeah, do a plank on your knees, you'll be fine. And then you had a kid and you're like, I'm the Pillsbury Doughboy and I don't know where my core is. And like, I don't know where my upper body to my lower body is. Like, and all of a sudden you're like, I was, excuse it, but like an a-hole for like telling these ladies they could just do this.
Yeah.
And you're like, you can't even lift your foot off the ground for like toe taps. Like, so all of a sudden then I became like very interested after Ellie was born in like rehabbing your abs and like what you could do to help. Because I feel like pelvic floor was like, I mean, she's only 6 and that was like not talked about. That was, like didn't exist. So then that led into like the next traction of being like, I want to get certified in like pre and postnatal.
Yeah, cool.
And so it all just kind of like, I feel like I've used like my own life and like what I'm going through.
The chapters of your life and that kind of like, it kind of affects what you're working on. Yeah. That's cool. So talk to us about your relationship with movement over the years. So competitive sports, marathon training, but now momming. Like, how are we fitting this in? What's a realistic goal for us to have? You know, do you have like a schedule that you follow every week, or does it jive depending on the week?
Yeah, so I ideally love to take a class like once a week, whether that's at like B-Tone or Power by Steph. I love to try to like take a class at one of the places. It doesn't always like sync up and work out. Just my husband travels and it just doesn't work out sometimes. But that's like my goal is to make like 4 classes a month. And sometimes it's like there are weeks where I make like 2 or 3 and I'm like, woo!
And this is on top of your teaching schedule. And
Right.
you're teaching like how many classes a week?
So I teach like 9 to 11 classes a week.
Wow.
But I do like one-on-one training. So I work a lot with postpartum women or pregnancy women, like one-on-one. I try to have like 1 or 2 clients at a time. And the ultimate goal with that though is that like after like 4 or 5 sessions, they go on and they go to group fitness classes and they feel
They're back
good.
to
So
what
I
they
try,
love.
yeah. So for me, definitely like before kids, I was like, you could go to a class, you could go on like a 4-hour run, you could do all this, like get a matcha afterwards, like do everything. And now I'm like, my kids are literally always in tow, whether it means like they're coming to the Y with me and I'm dropping them at kids club. They're either like Ellie is riding her bike and I'm like pushing the boys in a
Those are
double
my
stroller.
favorite Instagrams. You guys, if you don't follow Cara, you have to follow her. She's always just like running with her kids next to her.
Yeah.
And just
Well, that's
getting
like that's like
outdoors.
that is the
it's
highlight
so
reel,
good.
right? Like half
It
the
is,
time,
yeah.
I'm like, get back in the road, like get out of the road.
Yeah.
So there's like a lot of that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
but so we do like a lot of family exercise together. I, for the most part, like I work early in the mornings and then late at night, or I'm in the office when the kids are in school.
Yeah.
Craig travels, my husband travels a ton for work. So I'm used to like just like basically it was like I would love to take classes, but he's
Gotta make it
he's
work. It's
not
away,
realistic,
and I'm
yeah.
like, the children are all like 18 to 2 years apart, so that's like a lot.
It's
Like I
full
can't
on.
give my parents like all now. I kind of can because they're like 6, 4, and 2, but like even up to this year, like I couldn't really like give some even babysitters. Like I had to have like a mother's helper for the
Yeah.
baby and like 2 older ones, and
Yeah.
so now workouts are very like I follow the Madeline Moves app. So it's like she has like half an hour strength workouts because again, just like I don't like to lift weights. I don't know. I just like don't get that same like athletic high from it.
Yeah.
Or like taking a class where you don't have to think and you can kind of just go in and like that's why I love some of the classes that we teach and we get to take is they're like full body and I don't have to think like, is this a leg stays? Is this upper body day? But I do feel like I don't run as much anymore. Like, so I'll run with the kids like once a week or something and I'll do like some sprint intervals sometimes on like a cardio day at the gym, but a lot of my daily workouts will look like 30 minutes at the Y, or I'll like I don't take like the full classes when I'm teaching because I'm trying to like watch everyone, but if I like did like 10 minutes of arms with them, then I'm not going to focus on my arms that day.
Yeah,
I
know exactly.
I'm just
Oh,
going to
that's
like kind of
smart.
like, I don't know.
Sometimes the class that we're teaching that day is the only movement. So
Yeah.
even if it's like just doing the plank series or doing
Yeah.
one part
Yeah.
of it, it's like, okay, I can feel
And you
good
guys
about
probably
that.
feel this too, but like sometimes like people literally are like, what do you mean? Like some people's like are not right, left brained it and they like literally need to
Wanna
see you
watch
do it.
it.
And I'm
Yes.
like,
True.
okay,
True,
all right,
true,
we're
true.
back in this.
That is
I'm
true.
like, I literally just made a plank. That's all I need.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So
I
movement
think
just
that's
is,
awesome. And your kids get to watch you, prioritize yourself and your health. And I feel like that's going to ebb and flow through their life too. And you probably learned that from your parents. And I think
Totally.
that's so cool.
Yeah, like my parents and my background was very athletic. My mom is still like, I was like walking on the Y this morning when Brady is my baby. He was in the kids club and my mom's like in her 70s, like swimming in the pool.
So
and
impressive.
then she's like, like, and I'm like,
Yeah.
it's so great.
Cute.
So it's
I
like,
love
it is
that
like
your
the-
family is all around.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So is it your parents that will come over if Craig's traveling and you have to teach at 5:45 a.m.?
Yeah, usually I just sub those classes out. So
okay.
I used to like try to do it. And that's like where I've kind of learned that I'm like, and I used to feel like guilty subbing out a class
Yeah,
or doing
me too,
something.
so
And I think
bad.
we've talked about this, like the
Yeah.
early morning ones. Like I'm like, it just like, the stages ebb and flow. Like
Yes.
there's like 6 months where I'm like, this is
This
great. And
works.
you feel it probably with the girls, like
Yeah.
being a little older and being like more, you're like, oh, I'm going to have all this time. And then you're like,
Yeah.
no, now they have like sports and play dates
Yes.
after school. And like, oh, like, so it's kind of like, I don't know. You just kind of like,
Sorry, I was really into that.
but no, my parents will not do like overnights. They
Okay,
do
yeah,
not
yeah,
do like dinner time. Like
Yeah.
after like 5 o'clock cocktails, my mom is like, not in with kids. But otherwise, she is like
I love your
super helpful. She just was outside. She drives like a big white Escalade. I'm like, Mom, are you like a rapper? Where are you going?
Oh my gosh.
I always know when she's coming.
Yeah, you always see her coming in her big car. Like,
I love that she just has car seats on deck for you
Always,
guys, too.
always.
That is
So good.
amazing.
Yeah.
Such
I love
a
that.
what do they call it? Your community is your what's the word I'm looking for? Like on Instagram, they
Oh, your
say
village?
Your village.
She is my village.
You have a great village.
But she is
Cara.
so great.
awesome.
Yeah. And my sister works like full time in New Hampshire and Marblehead. So she is like not around a ton, but her nanny helps us out as well a lot, which is great.
Shout out to the nannies.
I love that.
Megan
So
keeps,
and the
Megan keeps our
grandmas.
family running and
you
rolling.
clearly have like such a busy schedule between pickup and
Getting it in before pickup.
getting it all in before pickup and doing all your things. So you teach at multiple studios. We just went over that, but I want to know what it's like balancing like different communities and class types and how that kind of weaves into your day.
Yeah. So I teach currently right now at 3 places. I've taught at like corporate places. I've taught in Boston. I've taught out here. And I currently teach at the YMCA in Marblehead.
Cool.
At Power
Shout
by
out to the
Staff. And then at
Yeah.
B-Tone. And they're like 3 of the drastically most different. Like,
Yeah.
Totally.
So different.
Like the Y is like very raw dog. Like you don't need headphones. Like bright lights. Like
Yeah.
sometimes the stereo works. Sometimes
It's not
they don't
really
use
about the vibe,
Like
is
it's not
it?
a vibe. It's not a vibe. But like it's open to all levels. Like
Yeah.
you will be literally working out next to your mom's best friend, and then this like hot rod 16-year-old that you're like, I don't think I ever looked like that at 16. Like so, it's just like runs the gamut.
Yeah.
Then Power by Staff, the vibe is like very calm, very chill. Like nice mood lighting.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like warm classes. The vibe is also like very, very young there. Like I laugh and I'm like, these girls must think I'm like 10 years old, like 100 years old. Like they're just like, I've never
Totally.
seen so many high school girls work out at 5:30 in the morning.
It's amazing.
It's
So shout out to the
amazing.
Marblehead High School
Imagine
girls
if
that
we
show
were
up.
exercising
I know.
like
I
this.
can't think about that. Like, I'm like, I
can't.
just like, and they're all dedicated. They like show up. They like carpool together. It's amazing.
It's amazing. They'll pick like the 18-year-olds, the dancers that I know that go. They'll pick each other up and like carpool at
I'm like,
5
I
a.m.
love it.
It's
I just
wild.
like can't fathom that. Like
It's
I
amazing.
like show up and I'm like, well, you have to show up because these 18-year-olds are
Yeah,
there.
if
Like,
they can
you
do
have
it,
to
we
move
can
your
do
body.
it, yeah.
And then B-Tone is very like franchised and corporate, and it's a lot more just like kind of in and out, which is nice. If you're like a mom, you're tight on time. I love the Reformer Pilates because it's kind of like you can't cheat at the movements. Whereas like if you've ever done like a class where there's abs, like you see some people are like whipping through their bicycle
Yeah.
crunches and stuff, and you're like, just slow it down. Like you have to on the machine. Otherwise you're like not going to get any benefits. So I like that because it's literally like 45 minutes in and out. Anywhere you take a class, it's like standard. You're always going to get like the same kind of layout of a workout. The instructor can get creative, but not as creative as like at a different studio.
Yeah.
So I like it because my brain doesn't have to really think. It's like a corporate formatted
Yeah.
workout. I just kind of like go in, I do my
Right.
thing.
So the prep time doesn't have to be so extreme. You can kind of just like
100%.
do what you got to do.
Yeah. And I feel like as a mom, it's like one thing where like I've been
Perfect.
doing it for 10 years. So like my brain just shuts off. I don't have to think about it.
Yeah.
When I teach a class at like the Y, I teach TRX there. I have to like think about the workout, think about how I want it to flow. When I teach at Power by Steph, I have to think about like moves that like all levels can
Yeah.
do, like these younger athletes, but like I do on the Saturday classes, have some like older ladies
Yeah.
that come in and stuff. And I want it to be like accessible to
Yes.
everyone and make everyone feel like they're welcome. So I feel like that is, you get like
Your
the creative
programming,
excitement to program, but you also like have to think and you're
Yeah.
like, but I reuse some of my workouts.
Of
like-
course.
You have to.
I'm like, I know,
course.
it's not always like reinventing the wheel.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I kind of juggle those out. As I said, I usually teach early morning. So I teach like 5:30 and a 6:30, like back to back.
Yeah.
And then I'm kind of like, once the teaching is done, I go home and Craig's off dad duty. But I like,
can't believe that he gets up with all the kids on the weekdays.
well, he does, but I like prep their lunches and their
Yeah,
breakfast.
obviously.
Like their clothes are laid out.
Obviously, he's still like he's still a dad. Okay?
Yeah,
he's
there's
still
not
just
a
a
lot,
dad.
but he is. He does
That's
a great
awesome,
job.
though.
But
Yeah.
like, I feel like I like email Mrs. Hecht like daily, and I'll be like, shout out to Mrs. Hecht, she's great. If
We
your
love
kids
you,
are-
Mrs.
yeah, we love
Hecht.
her.
So Cara and I, our daughters are in the same kindergarten class, and they're like besties.
Best
And this
friends.
wasn't even us.
I love that.
It's
we
kind
actually,
of
well,
us.
we did try to force it in the beginning, so they
we
had
did
friends.
force
Like,
it.
we did, but now they're
Then they
genuinely
took to each
yeah,
other.
took
They
to
have
each
a
other.
secret place on the playground where they way they meet where they
Oh,
only
cute.
see each other and they meet in their secret spot. So
That's special.
Especially if
Anyways.
the older kids are not allowing them to
Yeah.
play.
I know. Our
Stop.
girls are a little bit more shy and quiet. So the past 2 weeks we've been not even shy and quiet. I think they're just
They're
more
just
like
younger. They're like innocent.
reserved
They're like,
and they're the oldest. They're both oldest kids.
Yeah.
So you can speak to what the oldest versus like the next
Yeah,
one
yeah,
is.
yeah.
It's like a feral difference.
Yes.
But yeah, our little two besties are like
Yeah.
struggling with like some friendships and some stuff. So it's like we always have each other. I'm like rage texting Cara at 6 a.m. and I know she's teaching. I'm like, are you going to talk to Mrs. Act?
Oh no.
Let's shout out to Miss X. She's like the best teacher
She's
in the
the
world.
best teacher in the world.
She's
That's
fantastic.
amazing.
But
Yeah. So that's just a side note. But okay.
yeah, I don't know where I was going
Obviously,
with
you
that. Just love
teach.
her.
I know, obviously, you teach so many different things, and this ebbs and flows. Even for me, this ebbs and flows. Like next week, you can have a different answer, but just today,
Yeah.
what is your favorite format to teach right now?
I would probably say reformer Pilates.
Yeah.
I love it for myself, and it does give you like a full body workout. So I would say reformer Pilates is kind of I guess I see it like long term, like
Yeah.
it's adjustable for all levels. The thing with it though is it's not accessible to all people.
Right.
It's expensive. It's limited in the classes that they offer it. We are fortunate that we live in this area, that there are a ton of studios with it. But it is also one of those things, and you can probably speak to this too, but I feel like you typically would take it once or twice a week. I mean, I would love to take it like 5-7 days a week, but that doesn't happen. So a lot of people take it like 2 times a week as like a complement to their workouts.
I was just gonna say, there's no compliment better than reformer Pilates for whatever else you're doing, even if it's mat Pilates.
Yeah.
It just really can help you, sort of like in any movement that you're doing, feel what you're supposed to be feeling.
Totally.
and
I
it
have-
translates so well.
I've never taken
No,
one.
this isn't okay.
I've
I'm
never
t-
taken
I have one in my house.
Should we go
could go
upstairs?
upstairs right now?
Right.
Wait, should that be an episode?
Yeah.
Should I
That
take
should
you through your
definitely be.
first
Take me
class?
through my
should,
first class.
100%
That'd be
be
funny.
So fun and funny. Okay, so what's your favorite format to take when you do get to take a class?
So like legs, I feel like I naturally just like growing up skiing, tennis, swimming, sports, like running. I feel like so B-tone will do like a legs and then an upper body focus or a core focus. You still get like legs and core with it. But I love a good legs day. And I love when you go in, you'll see the machine has like either handlebars you can press off of, or they have like straps you can use.
It's more
I
like
love-
mega former style. Yeah,
exactly. So it's kind of like I'm always
work
like
the back of the
it's
machine,
like,
the front
it's
of
like
it.
a mix of CrossFit, Pilates, strength
Shut up.
training, and like
It
so
is.
it's like
Wild.
so the springs in Megaformer are like weighted resistance.
Yeah.
So basically anything you could do it laying down, you could do it standing up. But I love when we have like a straps class. So your feet are in the straps and you're doing like leg circles, leg presses.
Cool.
Yeah.
We need to get there.
It's a little
You've done
funky
a
to get
leg
into it.
circle.
It's a little
Here's the
funky to
thing.
get into.
Yeah, and that is what intimidates people, like the straps, putting your feet in straps. People kind of panic. But let me tell you something. Once you've done leg circles, feet in straps, you will be like, oh, that's my inner thigh.
Yeah,
I-
100%,
wow,
100%.
never used that
You're
muscle
like, have
before.
never used that muscle.
Yeah,
So
yeah, it's actually kind of shocking. So those are like your favorites, but what's your most typical go-to 20-minute at home? You said you use that app.
yeah, so I use the Madeline Moves app, and it's nice because like the week is set out. So like Mondays are legs days,
Oh, that's
Tuesdays
cool.
are arms. So today I just like did it at the Y, and it's great. You like pull it up, and you can literally pick like I want to do a half an hour, I want to do an hour. They're
Is
basically
it a
more
video
like,
or like a
yeah. So
program?
she has
Okay.
like little videos like in it, and you can like see what the moves are. They're very like straightforward. Like if you deadlift, but if someone didn't know what that is, then it'll like
could
you
see
can
a
like
little
click on
clip.
the picture and see it. So I love that. Today was like an upper body day, and it was focused on like shoulders. So you did like dolphin, dive bomber, push-ups. You know, your hips
Yep.
were like up high, and push-ups with that. And then she had you do like single arm presses. So it's great. I don't have to think, and I just kind of like went in the Y, and then I did like 20 minutes walking on the treadmill.
Love it. I love when
That's
you don't
my
have
jam.
to think.
That's my jam.
So I like that because it like
Yeah.
and it does actually challenge me. I feel like I've tried different apps, and I'm like, okay,
Cara, you
this,
make
like,
me
is
want to
not-
use my YMCA membership. It's been a long time to the point where I don't even have a key in. So when I go for basketball, I'm like, we're here for Celtics, and they have to let me in because I don't even have a
They're
key.
like,
You don't
so,
know where your
they're
key
like so
is.
sweet there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yesterday, though, sometimes I feel like we live at the Y because yesterday I taught the 5:30 a.m. class. We left. I dropped the kids at school. We came back. Brady had his swimming at like 9:30, so we were there a second time. We left. We came back. Then the older two had swimming in the afternoon at like 3 o'clock. I was like,
You are
You're
always
turning
there.
into your mom.
Times. Like,
You
I
are
literally
the
was-
what
I
mom?
was like,
What
oh
is
my
it?
God.
The what mom?
I think it's called like a tiger mom.
You
I
are
don't
the
know.
tiger
That's
mom,
terminology,
Cara.
but I
You
think it's-
have turned into the tiger mom.
Oh, yeah.
that.
But you're the best. Keep sending me the links. Like she'll just send me a link, and it will be like just something in town that
Yeah.
I might not have crossed paths with. Like,
Yeah.
and I love that. Please keep doing that because.
Well, I
don't
try
know.
to like put my kids. I think most of us default
Yeah.
to put your kids in sports you enjoyed or you did.
Yes,
because I'm
I
like
am
I'm
the
not a
queen of
hockey
that.
mom. Like I'm not going
Yeah.
to stand. So like my kids ski because I'm not going to sit in a hockey rink. And Craig my husband didn't care either way. So like I put them in tennis because like that's what I want them to do. So I feel like I also then try to like do something. So we're going to try lacrosse.
Yeah, we're going to do
We're going to see how it goes.
Are we
But I'm
Pixie?
like,
Are we
yeah,
being
we're
Pixies?
We're Pixies.
We'll all be together at 8 a.m. on every Sunday.
Woo,
in the
woo.
spring.
Does it
that's
start
good.
next week?
It starts next week.
Next week,
But I think it's like good to then
Yeah,
get them in like something else.
It'll be good.
I don't know.
Cameron did Pixies last year too, so
I've heard
I feel like
We're
a
good.
lot of
I feel
kids
like
do
we
it. So
can do it.
whatever like all the kids are doing,
Yeah.
we're there.
Yeah.
You know, the soccer, but somehow my husband's going to end up being the coach and that's going to piss me off. Like,
does he know lacrosse?
No. But he's volunteered soccer and he didn't play soccer either. So I feel like it just becomes like we need a grown up in the vicinity.
That's good though.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah, but then I'm on the sidelines with Miles. Like, I'm like, where's your daddy? Oh, coaching. Okay.
Coaching.
So yeah, that's
I think
that.
town soccer, you do have someone has to volunteer. I think that's all
There's
volunteered.
they
Yeah,
were
like,
sending emails that was like,
that's like
if
I
we
think that's
don't
very
have
aggressive because my
volunteers,
sister like had to volunteer for like
we
a 4
aren't
kids.
running it. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I think that's like very aggressive with the volunteers. I think
Yeah.
they
So,
really need
but I think this program's run really well from what I hear
Yes,
the
it's very
lacrosse,
good.
so that would be good.
That's very good. All right. So you're around your kids a ton and you were just like doing mom life and we love it. It's so inspiring. I mean, this is maybe like an obvious answer, but I'm going to throw it out there because maybe I shouldn't assume this. Would you prefer a workout at home with your kids or taking time for you like on your own? Because it's going to kind of segue into a question on like self-care and mom guilt and all that stuff. But I want to know your thoughts on that first.
Yeah. So I definitely think in like an ideal world, I would love to like work out on my own, have quiet time, go to class. Like I do feel like, especially postpartum, I feel like that's where I prioritize that and like will make a point to be like, okay, twice a week I have to. Yeah, the first 6 months, even to like a year. Then I'm like, I have to get out of the house like for my sanity.
Yeah.
And for my husband, it was like very much he had to just like shower once a day while they're newborns, and mine was like I have to do something. So I feel like in an ideal world, like I would love to just like work out on my own and do that. It's just like not realistic.
Right.
So I feel like the more kids I've had, I realized like it's okay that like this just isn't the phase where that happens.
Right.
And like my workups are interrupted. And I think I had a hard time adjusting to that. Like
Yeah.
that was
too.
very hard mentally, being like going from like, this is my 45 minutes, I get to do this, like no one's gonna interrupt me, to like going to like there's a dirty bum that needs to be wiped and there's a nose and there's a snack that's needed. But now like the kids are used to
that's
seeing
such
me
a good
do it.
point.
Like
I feel like we don't talk about that enough.
Yeah.
Like that's just such a good point about how you know, the early days of postpartum, which I know a lot of our watchers are in, how like reserving that time for yourself, whatever it is, can be the self-care.
Yeah. And I feel like for me, that was like just like getting out of the house. Like I nursed all my children. So like it was like the separating from them, getting out. Like that was like, once I started to make the mental shift that like they're allowed to bond with dad, they're allowed to bond with like your grandparents, like they're like that kind of helped a little bit. And now I feel like my kids are just like also you like build thicker skin, I feel like, and I just like kind of ignore them when I'm working out. Like I'm like I literally
It's
like, if I'm in the
bugging
living
you,
room working out, like I'm like mom's working out, like I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm more up to like put on the TV, like I'm absolutely.
Yeah.
So I feel like a lot of parenting is just like you continually adjust. Like but ideally, I would love to work out on my own. It just doesn't happen. So I'm like, what am I going to do? Sit at home and not work out? Or I'm going to go get her on a bike
finding
and
a
run
way
next to her,
like
and we're gonna work
not
out
feel
together.
resentment in that.
Yeah.
I think is so major because I definitely struggled with resentment the first 6 months. I'm like, why are you on me? While I'm in a plank. But now I love that you're saying like I don't even care if they're yelling at each other. Obviously, if everyone's safe and everyone's okay,
the house is not on fire,
then we're good. We're gonna
100%.
keep going.
Like I feel like, and that's
That's
what it is.
major
Like you
news,
just like adjust your perspective of it, and also like then I try to like just flip the script in my head, and I'm like, you know what? They're watching me. They're learning how to work out. They're also learning how to like problem solve. Like, I'm like,
without me.
you're 4 and 6, so you can get your water bottles. Like you can also like help your brother, and you can get him a water. Like, and this is 20 minutes. Like, but we use a lot of the kids club at the Y because like.
Resources,
like,
love that.
Yeah, and then I'm like, oh, and I used to feel
village,
guilty about
baby.
that, but I'm like, they're playing with friends.
No,
like,
Miles will scream bloody
what?
murder if I put him in there.
Yeah,
Because it's a muscle that you've had to flex and work.
100%. So I will say that with both of the boys, they hated it, and like the ladies at Kids Club, shout out to them because they are like gems. But they literally would call me like every 5 minutes with the boys. Probably why I don't wear headphones at the gym, because I was like, someone's always calling me to come pick them up. And then we would build to like 10 minutes and 15 minutes. And now Brady's there for like, when I teach a class, he's there for like an hour and a half and just like loves it.
He goes in there when you teach?
Sometimes he stands at the gate. Yeah, so that's another perk of the white. So I can teach a class. And
that's
great.
Major epiphany.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
But he stands at that gate with his coat on and his hat on, and he is like ready
He's
to rock
ready.
and roll.
When you're ready, he's ready.
And then he'll say, bye, ladies.
It was so funny when you were talking about like headphones or, you know, just like
lack
lack thereof, or just like let your kids duke it out, whatever.
Yeah.
I am like the queen of that. I literally put my headphones in, and whether there's something playing or not, I'm like, mommy can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Well, I just like literally read an article that was like siblings who are like closer in age when they're older. The reason is like they problem solved when they were younger, and they like didn't hold back their emotions, and they like knew that. And it's like so funny. So I have 3 siblings, and we all have a different dynamic with each other. But like my older sister and I like hated each other growing up. Like we were like oil and water, and now we're literally like, when she went away to college, we became like best friends.
That's so funny.
And I think it's because like we always like showed our true colors to each other, and there was no like, is she not gonna like there was always like, she's gonna be my sister at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like she's still, and I'm like, it's so funny because my parents are always like, I can't believe you guys are like best friends.
That's
like
awesome.
That's funny. Your girls are going to be so tight when they're older.
So I feel like it's like, they like fight it out.
Yeah.
We also always felt like for sports, like same year, like she would be the oldest and I would be the youngest. So like even though we were less than 2 years apart, like there would be like that 3-year gap thing where like she would be the top dog and I'd be like this scrappy little thing coming along the back. But so I think that like played into it.
Yeah,
as well,
definitely.
so.
Yeah. I have a sister that was like that. We were always kind of competing. In
Yeah,
dance.
it was like hard. But then I feel like it like also we like now are like doubles partners when we play yacht club tennis. And like, but it's like great. It's like
that's so fun. Are you kidding?
Like, yeah.
So when you do get time for you and like get to move or do something, you know, active, play tennis, whatever, without your kids, do you feel any type of guilt, or like have you been able to
like,
release
how do you
that?
Get past that?
The mom guilt.
Yeah, I feel like the mom guilt, like I had to do a shift for myself that was more just being like, they're getting to spend time with someone else. Like they're getting to enjoy that time. And a lot of the time for me, like working out movement, it felt like, at least with Ellie, it felt like silly that I was paying a sitter like $25 an hour to go like take a tennis clinic for like $35. And I was like, this is like ridiculous.
Yeah.
But then I was like, but it's not. Like that is like that's my night out with girls for cocktails.
Yeah.
Like, and like that's shifted for me. Like I would much rather do that. Like go take a tennis lesson with 3 of my girlfriends and do that. Like that's more fun. So I feel like taking that shift of being like, this is like prioritizing yourself makes
like
you a
what
better
you
mom.
actually enjoy.
And what you actually enjoy, not like what you're supposed to enjoy. Like I feel like I see a lot of people that go on like family vacations with like other families and things. And I'm like, that would literally be a nightmare for me. Like, and I don't know if it's because like my personality, I like to micromanage my kids, but people that do it seem to love it. Like they like, I feel like you've gone on vacation with other people and like, they're like, oh my God, the kids all play together and they love it. And I'm like, I don't know if it's just my kids are like still in the little age where I'm like, I can't fathom like taking the baby anywhere is like a lot. Like, so I'm like, I feel like, you know, you just kind of adjust your, I don't know. I feel like, but I still have mom guilt like all the time. I feel like I just have to like, you know, check in with yourself and you're like, is this like kind of a made up guilt that you have? Like but now with like technology and social media, like I feel like it's always like comparing things and seeing,
it's that
you know,
part,
and it's kind of like checking back in like, all right, but again, what are my values?
Yes.
What is my, like, what is important
what do you
to me?
need?
Like,
and like you spend a lot of time with your kids. So even if you're hiring a babysitter, it's like that babysitter is now showing them 2 hours of like a different world.
Totally.
You know what I mean? Like a different creative outlet, a different go outside, even just like riding their bikes. It's different than when it's with mom. And it's only making them become better for kids club or become better for preschool, kindergarten. Like I feel like that's something that, you know, you're preparing your kids to listen to another adult, and it's you're only kind of pouring into them and pouring into you at the same time.
And I feel like you're giving, like as you just said, like you're giving, if it's family, you're giving that family member like an opportunity to be the grandparent, to be the cousin. Like they love hanging out with my brother, and they like, and his kids are older, they're in high school, so they like, he's like obsessed with hanging out with little people. Like he's like, oh, this is so great, and they think it's like the greatest time, but he's always like the default person that I would ask like last, because I'm like, he like has older kids, he's like coming out, and he's like, oh my God, that was so much fun. And like,
nice.
so,
that's amazing.
It's
and
like
then
sometimes
it's like really
you
good
fill
memories.
that cup by then like offering them to get to do that. So but the mom guilt, I feel like that just it continually
comes
always,
with the territory.
it's always there. I feel like
I've
gotten a little better. I go on like 1 or 2 girl trips a year, and I feel like that was like that was like, I felt really guilty the first time going. And I was like, I just felt horrible about it. I was like, I don't know if my husband can actually like handle this.
Yeah.
And he had like more help than I've ever had in my life. Like I was like, oh my God, this is wonderful.
Yeah.
But then I feel like I came back and I was like, oh my God, like I feel like I'm a better mom. Like I felt like rested in a way, like not just like sleep rested, like my brain was reset.
Yeah.
Love that.
Oh you're like excited to go do
to
the
come
day
back
with
and be
your
a mom
kid.
instead of like looking at the clock and being like, oh my God, is it 5:30? Is it 6:30? Is it 7:30? Are we ready for bed? Like,
Yeah.
Oh, okay. This is a question that I find fascinating when it comes to you. I'm curious, what do non-traditional movement days look like for you?
Yeah. So I feel like non-traditional movement days, we're a big ski family, so we do a lot of skiing in the winter.
All three of her kids ski, including the little tiny
I know.
one.
He's very cute. He's actually like the best of all of them. I feel like he just
No fear.
no fear. And he also like his knees don't even come to the top of the boots, so he just like is like locked
He's
in
stuck
like
in
these
there.
little vices. So he does a great job. But yeah, non-traditional movement days are typically, I feel like for my brain, I have to do something, whether that's like a walk with the kids, a walk with a girlfriend. That's also my go-to is like walks with girlfriends. Because I feel like it's like a wham bam 2 thing. You're getting exercise. It's like therapeutic.
Community,
you're talking. Usually like playing tennis is like I would say like a non-movement day, unless I'm taking like a class or something. But like even on Saturday, I like took Ellie out. We played tennis. We went on like a little walk. Like just like being active, being outside.
Yeah.
Anytime I can be outside, that feels so much better to me than like being inside. I feel like. So if I'm not going to get movement, if I can like even just like sit outside and run around the yard with the kids and do something like that, I have to like move my body. I feel like it's like a brain serotonin thing. But like if I don't, I'm like just anxious and like I'm like snappy and like like literally to the point where the kids will be like, "Mommy, do you need to go for a run? Like, do you need to do something?" And
That's
I'm
cute.
like, So I feel like a non-movement day for me still incorporates movement. It's just not like specific to a workout, a class,
Right.
A run. Like we'll take like a family bike ride, and I'm like, just like move our bodies.
Yeah. I
Go
love
to Red's
that.
Pond and like run around the pond.
You guys are so active, and it's amazing, and always getting outdoors, even in like the worst
guys are
of
the
the.
most-
I know. Poor
conditions.
Stacey like sees us outside. I'm like, send your kids outside. We're outside, like jumping in the puddle outside your house.
Stacey's like,
I'm
I'll be
send them
watching
out.
from the window.
Right, literally, they're at the bay window, and they're all like scratching at the walls.
Mila's like
to get
scratching
out.
us. I was like,
Is that where you live over there?
yeah. So we're
We're
like
on the
3
same
houses
street.
away.
Oh,
We're like, yeah,
yeah,
oh yeah.
a few
So they have a
houses
little
down.
like biker gang. It's very cute. They all bike
That
like
is
outside.
so
and
sweet.
it's-
I'll drop Sailor off
Oh my god, you should.
whenever.
It's a very very cute.
The other day, it was so horrifying though. Ryan was outside watching the kids. He was on
It
duty.
starts with that.
They were on their bikes, and apparently they got off the bikes. It was like puddles everywhere. They somehow managed to find like empty water bottles. They literally filled these empty water bottles up with
Like
puddle water.
Craig babies and
Puddle water with the neighbor across the street, and started pouring all that foul water on each other's heads.
Oh.
I was like,
Yeah.
I looked out the
She's
window.
Look out my window.
I start knocking. I was like,
Bang.
what are you doing? And then Ryan finally comes to, and he's like, I told you not to do that. Play date's over.
Oh my God.
They had so much grime in their hair. And I was like, are we all about to like get staph infection?
Yeah.
And, like,
You're
sick?
curious. You're
Like,
curious.
I was
Yeah.
like, we took probably they took 3 baths.
After that.
Yeah. Bath, rinse, bath,
Shower,
rinse.
bath.
She's so
Yeah.
good with the cleanliness. That's where like I probably dropped the ball on my kids. I remember COVID. You were like, I would take them home and like shower them after Seaside.
Yeah.
And I was like, every day, every time they come in. And she was like, yes. I was like, I need to work on our cleanliness over here, team. Like we need to wash
So
that.
funny. You know what it is for me? Which Sailor now has danced pretty much every day. I have to slick her hair back. And then
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like, just I take it out and I'm like, oh my God, this is foul.
Yeah.
Like it's the hair for me that
Yeah.
makes it so foul.
Yeah, Kinley
yeah,
wants
yeah.
to slick.
And, you
And she
have
has long
crazy
hair.
kid,
Yeah,
crazy
they
kid
have,
hair
like, long
too.
hair.
yeah.
Yeah.
The girls are always like, you just put the
I keep
slick
forgetting
back
we're
in.
like filming a podcast. So I keep like losing my cards and
No,
just chatting.
no. This is
Yeah,
this is good.
fun.
Do we have any rapid fire questions that we want to hit Cara
Yeah, I
with?
do.
All right.
I'm going off the card. This is
Go
when
off the
things
card.
get
She's like,
scary.
this just came
Yes,
to
This
my
is when things get scary.
No,
Okay.
we love a rapid fire.
Now okay. I'm a makeup girly. I'm a skincare girly. I'm like a product girly.
Yeah.
I'm curious because obviously you're like very natural. You like stick to what you like. I want to know like one product that's at the top of your list that
Yes.
you're always rebuying.
Yes, so I do love Beauty Counter. Well, now it's just called Counter, but they have this
really?
yeah,
didn't know
they
that.
drop
Yeah,
they
so
drop the
good.
beauty part, just
Okay,
Counter.
just the Counter.
Well,
but
because
they have,
she
like-
sold it and then bought it back.
and then bought it back from herself.
Yeah.
basically, or not from herself. She
Yeah.
sold it and then bought it back, and then I think they had to take like a hiatus.
Yeah.
Okay.
It
Basically,
changed
so
the
she-
name.
So they have like a vitamin C serum. It's like comes in a yellow bottle, and it's like you can mix it with your moisturizer and stuff. It's fantastic. I love it because I feel like I have all these like little spots after having kids, and like just I swear by it. I love it. So that's a product I like every day. But basically, I use all of their like line of products. But I use like a moisturizer every day, and like sometimes the other day I like put on mascara, and Ellie was like, "Mama, your eyes," and I was like, "Okay, maybe we should put a little more effort in."
Like, I'm so fancy.
But yeah, so I feel I feel like I do more of like just like the skincare routine than like actual makeup. Like right now I have no makeup on. I don't think. I mean, I came from the Y, so I
Looking
really didn't have to
fabulous.
look,
You're
you know.
looking amazing. Okay, so what about kids? Any like go-to product line, like whether it's SPF or shampoo, conditioner vibes? Like I use Honest a lot for the kids. Do you have a go-to?
Yes. So we get this like it's like ridiculous. I am kind of crazy about their shampoo and conditioner. They both, well, the baby doesn't really have a ton of hair, but both of my older kids have a lot of hair. So my son has like long hair.
The most beautiful hair,
Yeah,
might I add.
I mean, come on.
He wears a
Flow.
little pony. It's like, yeah, he's got a little flow with it. But so
Gorgeous blonde.
I
too.
read
Like,
this
wanna
thing
cut
about
that
like
off.
pregnancy when you like using shampoo and stuff on your hair, like all the chemicals like seep into your brain, which kind of makes sense. But then it made me like go down this deep dive, which again, I feel like with the mom guilt, like you have to just be like, these, like I'm not spending $5,000 on your hair products. So like I
Yeah.
have to find something in the middle. So they use these and they smell really good. They're like, smells literally like banana bread, but you can get it on Amazon. It's like this French company. I'll send you guys a picture of it. But they use the shampoo and conditioner for that. And it's like $20.
Is it like Bella Boo or something like that?
Now I'm gonna be like, what's the name?
We'll post it. We'll post it.
I'll get the name for it. But it smells. They make it also in what does she do? Ellie likes the orange one and he likes the banana one. But they're like
course.
22. Of course, they're like $22 a piece, which I'm like, that feels expensive for
Yeah.
kids, like shampoo
Yeah.
and conditioner. But I'm also like, they're not like washing and shampooing their hair
Yeah.
every single day. So those are two things for the kids I like swear by. Detangler for Ellie.
I go through
It's
so
like
much
we go through a
detangler.
lot
Yeah,
of
what
that.
brand?
Yeah.
Detangler?
So that I just get like Whole Foods.
Whatever,
We just get like that has like the fairies and the angels on the bottle.
I know that
I don't know what it's called, but we basically got it. She got it in like an Easter basket.
I think
when
it's
she was
Fairy
born.
Tales,
Is it
isn't
Fairy
it?
Tales? I think that's probably what
And
it's
they
called.
also have one that like you can spray for lice.
Oh, that's good.
For lice. Oh.
Yeah, there was lice
Did you
going
remember
around
when,
last
like,
year. and it
kids
was
with lice,
psycho.
like they would just like, was like a lady that came to your house and like basically.
Yeah,
like,
the
cleaned out your
nitpicker.
house. Yeah. So
Still
like,
exists.
Does
She's
she
in
still
Beverly.
exist?
Yeah,
Oh,
'cause
she
that-
does? Yeah.
it went
So like when it
around
went
the
around
preschool
school
last
last year, they were like, we don't really do anything. We spray them with like this herbal. And I'm very like, I like try to do things clean like
Yeah.
as much as possible. But then I'm also like, if someone has like the neurovirus or has lice, like just kill it. Like
I was literally
don't care.
just
Like
talking
I'm like
about this
I'm
at
like wipe
Cara.
that down with Clorox
Yeah.
and like get
Give
the
me the
chemicals out of the hair.
bleach.
Like don't be putting like eucalyptus oil in my kid's
Yeah,
son's hair. Like let's just get the lice
Yeah.
out or like
Yeah.
shave his head. I don't know.
Yeah.
So for the kids, the shampoo products like that, they're very into the Tom's of Maine toothpaste. They love
Yeah.
like the different flavors. that they
Yeah.
Silly
get.
strawberry.
Yeah, very into like, so we have like every single flavor
Yeah.
of that.
Do you have a go-to activewear brand that you love?
I do. Well, I feel like I default between I wear like a lot of Lululemon leggings just because I feel like they're great for like I feel like I've been pregnant or postpartum for the past like 7 years of my life. So I feel like you can always just like size up 2 sizes and like just pull them up higher
Yeah.
or roll them down. Yeah, I know. I want to get more into like the athletic sets, but we keep going back and forth if we're going to try again for a fourth. And so I was recently pregnant. We lost that baby. So I feel like now is like year where I'm like, I'm going to either buy some like epic sets
Yeah.
or I'm just going to get pregnant again.
Yeah.
We're gonna manifest both for you.
Okay.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Epic
whatever
pregnancy.
comes.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, that's such a tough thing to go through. I'm sorry, Cara.
But I feel like fitness also like helps you a lot through that. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like it's just like, I was even thinking on the treadmill today, like I was like, there was like 2 weeks after our DNC where I was like wearing a pad at the Y and I was like, this is horrible. This feels horrible. But I had to
Yeah.
like mimic the motions of just like moving and like getting out. And then today I was like, hey, look at me. I'm like walking on the treadmill. Like,
love that.
That's
I
so
feel like
cool, yeah.
movement, it
Yeah.
does. Like, it's like, it's a muscle. It's like,
I think it's so
you work down, it
inspiring,
gets you
yeah.
back out. And then you're like,
It's obviously a really hard topic to talk about, but it does affect 2 and 3 women that are,
Yeah.
in their childbearing ages. So I really admire the fact that you're willing to just say that's what it is. And yeah, you're going to bleed for a month after that. I also had a DNC between my 2 kids, and I feel like I didn't have any friends that went through it.
yeah,
at the time.
it definitely, I feel like, is very isolating in it. And
Yeah.
you're like, I did something wrong. Like, you feel like this guilt for it. And you're like, then you get to the other side and you hear people, and like someone can always have like a more tragic story. Like,
Yeah.
there-
Of
you know,
course.
like there can, but I feel like that doesn't take away from your loss or someone else's. It just like shows you that like,
Yeah.
you can get through it. You
Yeah.
can do
Yeah.
tough stuff and like,
it's interesting when you have kids at home and you go through a loss like that. You almost feel like you don't deserve to be like crying over it. You're like, but I have these 3 healthy, gorgeous children, you know? But it's like, you're so valid in your feelings. It's such a hard thing to go through. And it's just like, especially as someone so in tune in your body, you're like, what are you doing? I've worked with you. I've kept you healthy. I've poured into you.
And I
have
also
spent
feel like that's
money
like
on that.
pregnancy can be like hard when you're like in the fitness industry because you're like so used to your body like functioning one way, and you wake up one day and like you're like, oh, my leg doesn't move, or like
Gives
my
you a
back
whole
is
new respect,
like it's a whole new respect for it. So I feel like
you're going to help a lot of moms. I know you already have. So thank you for sharing that with
I
us.
was just going to say that.
Obviously not an easy thing to go through.
But I think like that's what fitness can do for you. It can get you through the trenches of anything. And it's like you can pick up the pieces, and like, yes, sometimes you do have to fake it till you make it. Like you know, like even this morning I was like, oh, like I should be 5 months pregnant now. I should have like, and you're like, okay, but like that's not what's here. So like then we're just going to take one step forward and we're going to move forward. And I feel like a lot of it is like you can have, I mean, there are sad moments in life. Like can be, you know, sad and things. But I think when you have kids at home, it just makes it different. I don't think it's like easier or harder for someone who doesn't have kids. I can't imagine like the infertility journey. I got pregnant with my kids all relatively easy. And so I think that's a different journey. Like if you're longing for your first, like you don't know, you know, on one side, you don't know what it is to love those children. Like I feel like, and so you're longing for this unknown. And when you lose that known thing, you know what that baby is, and you know it doesn't make it easier or harder, but I feel like it,
you know what it is too, you start to almost like, this is what I went through anyways, you start to picture your life, right? So it was like I pictured Sailor holding that baby, I pictured your 3 kids like
totally
holding that 4th, or you are one of 4, and all these things like can stick with you, and you really can't be fully past it, which I don't know if you're ever fully past it. But until like that due date, you know, that due date goes by and you have to do something with your kids, obviously. We planted a tree in our backyard, that one right there, and it's freaking massive.
I love that.
So I would encourage anyone going through this to, on that due date, or even any date that just like rings true for you, to just like do something super special. Include your kids if you have them. And like,
that's really
I don't know.
sweet.
I know that you're going to have it's not going to be like easy the next 4 to 5 months to be like, I should be. And so I'm just like, I'm thinking about you. I've been thinking about you. And I know that you're resilient. Your body is resilient, but also like physically, mentally, emotionally, you're so resilient.
Well, and I think we get on this like very big kick that like 35, all your eggs drop and you die. Like that's not true. I had a majority of my children after 35. I turned 40 this year, and like for some reason I felt like that was like a huge mental block for me, and I was like, oh my God, I'm never gonna get pregnant at 40. And as soon as I was like,
have to be.
That's a freaking number. Like calm
just
down.
a freaking number.
We were pregnant that cycle. So I was like, I think a lot of it is like, again, that like external pressure. Like you're worried about all these things and whatnot. And I'm like, it's fine. It'll happen. Women in like other countries have babies in their 50s. That's not in the cards for me. I don't, you know, we're still in the diaper phase with Brady. So I'm like, let's just keep this train moving.
Yeah, I get that. I totally get that.
But that's more like personal, you know, I just preference.
And then there's something to be said about like, even if you were, you know, had a chemical pregnancy, you didn't even know you were pregnant. Like your body after that on the fitness side of things is completely different. DNC, completely different. Like if you are going through that, don't expect to just pop back into your workout.
100%.
So
I
that's
feel
something
like,
to be said too.
Even after the DNC, like I felt pregnant for like a good full month. And I was like,
and the hormones.
Like you feel like a little crazy and you feel wild. And like, I think as the pregnancy progresses, it obviously makes you feel crazier and crazier. So,
Oh,
thanks so much for
thank
sharing.
you for sharing that. So as you kind of like, you're reflecting back on like, you know, your past pregnancies and whatnot, I do want to kind of even take a further step back and ask you one last question. What advice would you give to your younger self as it relates to movement, life, motherhood?
Yeah.
All those
like,
topics.
Embrace the changes. Like I feel like the way I got into fitness was like taking a bunch of different classes, taking a bunch of certifications. And that doesn't mean like go out and spend like $1 million on something. Like look at something and be like, this is something I can use. And I always used to do like a cost analysis thing. Like if I taught XYZ classes, I would make back this certification, and then this certification can lead me down this other opportunity. So I feel like a lot of it is like just saying yes, like going to that class with a girlfriend, taking a class by yourself, like showing up to a mommy and me class. And like, you might hate the class, but you might like meet your best friend in it.
Yeah.
So just like saying yes to opportunities, especially in those like new mom years. you know, asking for help, like that's still like the hardest thing for me to do is like ask family, friends for help when it's like not at the point where like I desperately need it. Like
Yeah.
I feel like even with like certain things, like I like will like hold back and then I'm like at a breaking point. I'm like, why didn't I just ask for help?
Along the way,
like
yeah.
along the way. And then just like movement of any kind, it matters. Like I just feel like movement has brought me through my childhood, through my adult life. Like it connects our family. And it's not something you can't like unlearn. Like my husband didn't grow up as active as us. Like we are very, very active. Like sometimes I think he'd like to stay home and
most
like tag out of the family activities. But even him, like he's learned to love skiing because it's like times with the kids and it's like being outside, it's being in nature. So I think just like who you are or who you think you want to be at like 10, 20, 30, 40, like that can change and that can be like a really good thing. Like I never pictured myself standing up and teaching fitness classes.
Right.
But like I feel like now I'm like, oh, I can't imagine really doing anything else. Like my kids have learned to love like activities. I get to be in the studio. My creative juices get to flow. My brain gets to flow. Like I just feel like, oh, this is like a perfect lifelong career. But like when I'm 65, I don't know. Will I still be teaching classes or not? Will that change into something else? And I get to be like an active grandma on the sidelines because I really think what you do at each stage like gets you to the next one. So like my mom swimming in the pool in her 70s at the Y is not like something she just picked up. It's not to say you can't just pick that up. But like she was playing, she still is like playing tennis, but she like had us playing tennis. Like she then was like, you know, what you do now matters in the next 10 years. Like you want to be an active grandparent in your 70s, 80s, and 90s. You got to move your body now for whatever that means for you. So like strength training, flexibility,
I love
like
that.
doing anything. Like I like love it when I see like my dad's friends at the Y. Like I'm like, look at them go.
Yes.
Like, you know, and they're
Proud.
like carrying a
Amazing.
kettlebell and they're like squatting and they're like doing it. But I'm like, they're going to be capable of like picking their high school grandkid up at school. Whereas like there's other people that I'm like, oh my God, you're like in your 60s and you look 80. Like my in-laws are like
So
that. They're
true,
very
yeah.
inactive. And I'm like, you're literally missing. You're going to miss out on so many years. Like not right now, but like in 20 years.
Yeah.
Like you're not going to have that. So I feel like just like
That's
movement
such a
is
good
medicine.
point.
Movement will get you through everything you need.
Yeah.
But just like telling your younger self that like, you'll be okay.
Yeah.
Like everything will work out. And it's constantly changing, right? Like life is always changing, but telling yourself to like, you know, keep going. And I think exercise and fitness and sports do that. You know, they like your biggest accomplishments come from your biggest losses and your biggest like, I mean, even relationships. Like before you met your significant others, like you were like, oh, this person is going to be the one. This person is going to be the one. And then you're like, oh my God, you weren't, but you led me to this. Or like even your kids, like you look at them and you're like, oh, I could have never imagined you would be you. So like keep going, keep moving.
I love
It's
that.
worth it.
I love that.
I didn't mean to skip this. I feel like
Okay, this is a really good question. I'm going to read it because Stacy wrote it in such a way that I love.
Woo!
Okay. You have strong roots in Marblehead. You mentioned how your childhood shaped you. How do you emulate that and try to kind of incorporate that into your little family?
Yeah. So I feel like Marblehead is like such an amazing, amazing community. But when I grew up like in this very sheltered home and that was like a generational thing too, I think. So for my kids, I really try to emulate that like Marblehead really is this like special and beautiful place, you know, where we have these beautiful oceans next to us, but also like some kids have never seen the ocean. So it's like a lot of it, I try to like embrace the beauty of I had in my childhood. And it's amazing to like see my kids doing the same thing, like playing youth soccer. And I'm like, oh my God, here's mom's like they wear like our soccer jerseys.
Yes.
It's like so cute growing up in this town. But then I think a lot of it too, like I'm like, I want them to know there is a world out there and there are like people that are less fortunate. And so I feel like I try to like be very hands-on in their school and like be very active in like what they're doing. Just to like kind of remind them that there is like a bigger world out there than them and that like Marblehead is this beautiful and amazing place, but a lot of people don't get to live in it. But it's so special. Like I feel like maybe it's naive or whatnot, but I feel like they grow up in this like beautiful bubble. Like it is keeping their innocence for as long as possible. And like it's really cool to get to see it. And I love seeing it through my parents' eyes of like watching them do things we did in town. Like we are all at the Corinthian and that's where we grew up. And so it's really special. Like we talked about this about like swim meets and stuff, but like I like vividly remember myself as a 6-year-old like swimming to that rope in the middle of the pool. And
I remember Cara too. She was always winning, and I was always getting the participant ribbon.
But it will like make you cry this summer, and you're like, I'm a grown ass
wait.
woman like crying while my kid is like literally like doing the dog paddle to the rope. But it's like I think it's because
It's
you have those
special. You
memories
knew how
of
much
your
it meant to
child,
you.
and like I'm like, oh my god, this is gonna shape them into like loving sports as an adult. So I feel like
really cool.
Marblehead is just such a special town for that, and like getting to grow up in this town and like coming back and having your kids, like, but it is funny. I feel like you guys probably feel this way, but like when people are like, oh, how did your husband find Marblehead? Or like, how did you get here? I'm like, there's always one person that's like from here. Like, you don't just like find it. Or if they do, I'm like,
how did you
like,
find
how did you find
it?
it? And I feel like they're like, oh, I'm from like Charlestown, Mass. Or and I'm like, oh, you just found like the Duxbury of the North Shore.
Yeah.
Right. That's so funny.
But yeah, I feel like this town is like, it is so special. It's so wonderful. But I feel like you do have to be an active participant in your kid's life, because I feel like, you know, there can be mean girls in kindergarten, as we said, but like there can be mean girls through adulthood. And like we all kind of experience that. And it's like you can either fall into that trap and like care about it, or you can like be like, that's just not for me. That's not my vibe. So I feel like there can be a lot of keeping up with the Joneses in Marblehead and a lot of like that. And it's kind of like, you also have to like find what's important to you. And that's continually
I hope Sarah and Ellie are friends for a long time.
I know.
Because I think you and your family are a good influence on literally anyone.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Really.
Literally anyone.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's really, it is a very special town, and Swampscott as well. Like I kind of combine the two of them, Marblehead and Swampscott. But like there are a majority of people that still have like high school and middle school friends. And,
Yes.
Like, my best friend Sarah has been like my best friend for life. And like
Shout out Sarah.
Shout out Sarah Moran.
We love you.
But like it's pretty amazing. Like, but I feel like that's not like unique to just our friendship. Like there are a lot of people that have those friendships, and it's like, so, you know, like I met your friend the other day and you were like, this is my friend from childhood.
Yeah.
And it's like there is something about these towns that people want to come back to.
Yeah.
And like the parents are still here, the grandparents are here. Like it's like so
It's hard to leave.
It's hard to leave, and like, but then
It's
when
a
you come
special
back,
community.
like not a lot's changed.
Yeah.
Like, which is beautiful,
Good and bad.
wonderful.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, it is. It
Good
is
and
really
bad,
good,
y'all.
really good. And bad.
Well, I love that. You're like such a well-known person in town, and like, I don't know, it's always like so cool seeing like your family all out and about, and like you just being so connected with your kids and, you know, out in town. And
I think it's a lot for my parents though. Like my parents were
we
very
have so
like
much in common.
we're very
Back
active.
on,
like they were just like very
your
active in our
skiing.
lives. Like they wanted to be part of it.
Yeah.
And
I
I
love
feel
that.
like I feel like there's always like, I kind of laugh at this, like, but sometimes you can see like the parents that, and one's not good, one's not bad, but like the parents that put their kids first versus their like relationship. And my parents were very much like that. Like they're like still best friends and they're like happily married, but like we definitely were like the priority.
Yeah.
And then I feel like in my husband's family, like their relationship was the priority, and like the siblings were kind of like second to it. And it's just different to see his dynamic with his siblings versus like all of us are like, you know, within a 1 foot
to the
radius.
hip.
Yeah, like I mean, there's like a booth for 4 people, and like all 8 of us try to like sit in it. And he's like,
cute.
"What are you guys doing? Give some space, like space it up." And we're like, "No."
Oh my
It's like
gosh,
right under
that
their
is so
armpits.
funny. So do you have one tip, like if I want to keep my siblings really close forever? I mean, my kids as siblings.
As
close.
siblings, I don't know. So I mean, I feel like we used to fight a lot, like as kids, like really a lot of fighting.
Yeah.
But I feel like we always stayed. So my younger sister, she's like the most gone like rogue on herself. I mean, she lives in like Watertown.
She lives like 5 miles from us.
really
We're like,
doesn't
she's
leave.
gone rogue.
She's not really rogue. She didn't go into the family business, and she didn't.
she didn't stay in town.
Yeah.
Major.
But I feel like we've always had like open communication. Like my brother is like, I mean, maybe that came from like having 3 sisters, but he has always been like very in touch with like what people need, and like very caring and very open. And I feel like that's how you're raising your boys, and your girls are like, you know, so kind to each other. Like they're gonna obviously like rip each other's hair out, and like my 2 boys
Quite
like
literally.
wrestle on the floor, and like I'm like, okay, but like unless they're like gonna hurt each other, I like try not to step in.
Let
I
it
try to
ride,
like
yeah.
let them figure it out. And I feel like, but yeah, I don't think we can like make them, you know, make them be best friends. But
But I'm going to try.
but I'm gonna try. Yeah, but try really hard. But I mean, I feel like it's also like proximity, right? Like my sister lives in town, I live in town. Our kids are the same age, so like there was a lot of
Kids being the same
crossover.
age does, in
It
fact,
helps. It
make
makes it
you
easier.
close.
Like they're in the
People,
same
yeah.
like. She'll text me the same way as I'll like text you if there's just like a sports thing, or there's like, you know, she does like pottery, and I was like, oh, like at what age can they start pottery? And then I like signed Ellie up for, you know, so like I feel like it's helpful to like That makes it
bounce
easier.
ideas off of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're doing all great things for your family, and it's such an inspiration. And we love working with you. We love hanging out with
We
you.
ever said that. We all teach at the same
We
studio
all teach
at
at Power. And yeah, it's just been so amazing getting to know you. So thank you so much for being on here.
Thank you, Cara.
And
where can we find you so we can like keep up with your schedule?
Yeah, where can
you're
our listeners
teaching?
find
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram, Cara Bednar Fitness, or you can find me at the Y or B-Tone or Power by Steph.
Love it.
Thank you.
Or you can come join our biker game on Bayview.
Oh, yeah.
And we just might
Just come lap it with us.
drop the kids off.
It's a pretty big motley crew.
It
so.
is.
Yeah, you got a lot
Starts-
of kids on that street. That's awesome.
We do. It's good.
I love that.
All right.
Okay.
Well, we'll see you next time. Bye.